Minister of Power made a statement. That is Mr. Adebayo Adelabu to Nigerians. He said, "You'll soon start praising us. Be patient." Let's listen to what he had to say.
We are doing everything possible to make sure that the situation reverses in no time, because I see this as a crisis, and the crisis must be arrested. All we just ask for from Nigerians is to exercise a little patience, to give us a little time, to still retain their trust and retain their confidence in us that we can do this job, and very soon they will start singing our praises. The way forward is a meeting that is actually necessary to also reassure Nigerians that we are not sleeping here. We are doing everything possible to make sure that the situation reverses in no time, because I see this as a crisis, and the crisis must be arrested. All we just ask for from Nigerians is to exercise a little patience, to give us a little time, to still retain their trust and retain their confidence in us that we can do this job, and very soon they will start singing our praises.
Well, there were a lot of comments on this particular video. Some people said, "Nobody will praise you, just do your best and leave the rest." Someone said, "Minister of Power, where they use power bank." Another person said, "Patience since 1960. Be patient, and businesses are suffering, no light and the heat." Okay, please don't let me. All right, well, that was the Minister of Power as well. Let's check out this statement made by Professor Ikechukwu Agbagwa, who was talking about, when asked about how Peter Obi fought budget padding, this was what he had to say.
First 100 days in office, you tied roads and all that. Don't insult us. That's not development, that's infrastructure. The quality of the human person is what defines the state. So it's not impossible. This can be done. I'll cite two examples. One was when Peter was governor, there was this, we were 1 a.m. He said, "Okay, come and see how much I've saved today." Because when he gets a file, he will check the unit cost, check the total. So check the unit cost. If it's too high, he will call people in the market. So they realized that they will give him the correct unit cost, knowing he verifies, and then give a wrong total. He will also check that. After calculating, maybe you put about 14.7 million, he finds out it's 9.3. He will write 9.3, approved. Say, "Look, why don't you disincentivize this thing? Some of them can be arrested." He said, "No. See, if you want to sleep and there are too many rats in your house, you know it's the fish they want. Don't use a wooden basket, use the metal this thing. Once you're sure they won't take your fish, sleep." So a leader must have the capacity to take something and shine. First 100 days in office, you tied roads and all that.
All right, so this comes amidst the allegations made by the Bauchi State Senator Ningi, who, talked about the fact that this current budget is padded, 3.7 trillion naira padding. This is what the reaction is concerning that particular conversation. Now, there was a police who slapped a lady in a police station, and they're now saying that he has been arrested. Let's listen to what exactly transpired.
I have personal problem. Even before I will admit you with my money. I will send you to hospital. I will admit you. Hey. The spiritual exam is standing. I will put you in police. I am waiting for this.
All right. Well, that was the Edo State Police Sergeant Samuel Imako, who slapped a lady, Messi Ajayi, at the police station. According to Edo State Police Command, they've arrested and detained the sergeant. And looking at this particular reaction, it's according to the statement, it read, Edo State Police Command wishes to inform the general public that it is aware of a video trending of a young woman slapped by a policeman at the police station. The erring policeman has been identified, and he has been arrested and brought to the Commissioner of Police, Edo State, on Monday. Well, that is the reaction right there. You begin to ask, some of these policemen, what exactly gives them the impetus to slap a citizen whom you are supposed to be protecting? Well, let's see how that plays out. That's pretty much Who Said What on Voice of the People 96.1 FM. The front page review is up next. Do keep it locked right here. My name is Gesiri Agua. Good morning. Breaking news on VOP 96.1 FM.
Sports.
The Greek god in Rome!
Business.
The exchange rate will begin to move towards its purchasing power parity value.
Health.
Help the patient as much as you can.
Politics.
Everybody knew that I was just managing.
I withdraw that statement.
Each day you open television, wicked.
Let's be poor.
Breathe. Security.
We're making some arrests already, and we can assure Nigerians that we are on top of the game.
And your voice.
But immediately they have someone but the story will change.
Talk of lights, talk of good roads, talk of some other things.
Bad roads. They should try and do something to it.
The Morning Ride. Weekdays from 6 a.m. Voice of the People. Now you have a voice.
It's our legacy.
Nigeria must be cool. The labor of our heroes past must never be in vain.
It's your mandate.
Our allegiance is to the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and not to any political party or any political actor.
News from all around the world. Voice of the People, 96.1 FM.
It's thrilling, controversial, heated, thought-provoking. Catch Rufai OSENI.
Came here to misrepresent the facts today as regards subsidy removal.
Kesire Aqua.
Report was that $9 billion is lost yearly to illegal mining.
And Simeon Sunday.
If you know something of this nature is happening within your community, why didn't you raise an alarm?
On the front page review, weekdays at 7:15 a.m. Now you have a voice.
All right, good morning to you and welcome to Front Page Review right here on Voice of the People 96.1 FM. My name is Gesire Agua. We're joined by Rufai OSENI via telephone this morning. Good morning and welcome to the show. Hello? All right, let's start the show rightfully with the statement made by the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He said, I can end farmers' headers crisis in 2 weeks. This is a statement according to the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He said, I can end farmers' headers crisis in 2 weeks. This statement was made during the inauguration of the mechanized agricultural project in Mina, Niger State. Mr. Rufai, do you think this is just a cho-cho-cho situation? You're talking and you haven't had the actions to back your claims.
Like you said, I just think it's talk. Give us the roadmap. Why don't you put it? How is it that it was give you land before you put up the roadmap? But I think it's just another talk. I mean, talk is very cheap. Action is priceless.
All right. The president made a lot of remarks yesterday at this inauguration. He talked about a blame game. He made a lot of statements yesterday concerning the situation in the country and all that. And one thing that interested me was the fact that he doesn't play the blame game, right? He said that he doesn't play the blame game, but we're seeing spokespersons around him doing that. We've seen Bayo Onanuga, we've seen a lot of other individuals around the president making statements that blame the past government, past administration for issues like this. Is it that there's no, synergy or communication? There's a gap in the communication between, we had this issue during the President Muhammadu Buhari's administration, where there was a distance between the presidency and the president himself. There was always that debate. So is that the situation we're seeing playing out here?
He is the chief blamer. The same person that says they blame is the one that was blaming Lima for going to fight after country the diaspora. So him saying that, like I said, politicians will talk a lot. I mean, let's move on to more substantive issues. I don't believe in all that talk. Yeah, what he launched yesterday was supposed to be an agric revolution. But the question is, at this time, in this day and age of modern technology, we are still excited about launching tractors and all of that when there's been all sorts of innovation in farming. For me, what I believe we should really talk about is the output of agriculture in Nigeria. And hope that he has launched is going to be able to help Nigeria to give a lot of output, because Nigeria has the capacity to feed Nigeria. If the bushes are not filled with bandits and criminals, Nigeria has the capacity to feed Nigeria. Nigeria has got 70,000 square kilometers of land. So when you compare that to countries like Netherlands that churn out a lot of agricultural produce, Nigeria should be doing more. So if the outcomes are not there, it's not about just sitting on tractor and taking photo ops and all of that. It's about the outcomes. What will the outcome be for the state of our agricultural play and bring food back to the table? And what is the way forward as regards this 1,050 hectares they said they were going to cultivate all over the country? I mean, these are the most substantive questions, not photo ops and sound bites.
All right, let's talk about the inauguration that happened yesterday. Mr. Rufai, one thing that is of great concern is security. Faulting the governor is the aspect of securing the country first, because that is the most pressing issue, ensuring that the farmlands are even safe before we even talk about 5,000 tractors or 1,000 tractors and some other mechanizations for farming and all that. So aren't we supposed to be focusing on securing the country first before bringing in this investment, so that it will not be a case of you brought in investments and then nothing is being done in that particular sector?
No, but you're correct. That's what it should be. It's not about photo. It's about what are we looking at in the outcome of insecurity there. You can launch tractor, and when you leave and all your soldiers leave and the tractor, they are driving in the bush and bandits start to kidnap the tractor and the farmers, what will you do about it? That's going to stop productivity. You should fix the problem, and that's, I say, not photo ops.
All right, let's move on to this issue of budget padding. It's been in the news since last week, Thursday. We haven't touched upon it yet, but, there are developing stories. So we're seeing, last week we saw northern senators accusing the Senate president of inserting projects worth about 4 trillion naira into the 2024 budget. They alleged that the projects had no locations. They were discreetly inserted into the budget, and they claimed that the budget was lopsided against the north and some parts of the south. I'm sure you've been following the stories. What exactly is your take on this?
At first, I condemn all the level of incitement by Senator Ningi and trying to pit regions against each other. That's something unworthy of politicians to do. And you must watch it, because now he has started backtracking. He said he didn't say that there were 2 budgets and all that, And he is even the leader of the appropriations. So if you say the budget was padded, where's your evidence? Where's your proof? You said there are about 3.7 billion as not ascribed to any project. I think he should bring his proof out and let the world know about this, because if he doesn't, then he's stating his integrity. But most importantly, he was the head of the appropriation, and he has to be able to tell us, why didn't he figure this out, and why is he playing this divide and rule politics? And he deliberately did it on the BBC Hausa service. That's even more scary. So we should try as much as possible to ask more questions from this man and tell him to stop inciting people and all of that. If he has evidence as regards the budget was padded, it's not today now. Jubilee told us the budget was padded, and he provided some evidence. We should be able to bring all of these things out. Simple.
All right. We're moving on to this issue of strike allegations here, where SANU is saying that the VCs, registrars and bursars have not been paid, and therefore they will go on a strike. Mr. Rufai, can you hear me? Hello?
I can hear you loud and clear.
All right. So
I can hear you loud and clear.
So SANU, that's the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, they said that the union will not back down on their plan to embark on a nationwide strike over unmet demands on the part of the federal government. Mr. Rufai, this has happened time and time again, and at this point I don't know if the unions are not tired of getting into agreements with the federal government, because when they enter into an agreement, it seems that the federal government enters with their fingers crossed, and at the end of the meeting they backtrack on their agreement.
And that's the lack of integrity, and that's why people don't take government seriously. So if the government is saying, wage awards and all of that, we don't like to blame people, we are not to be blamed. The question we should ask them is, so why have they not paid SAN all this while? You have not paid SAN, you have not fixed the problem in the university, and this Thursday you are planning to launch student loans. And that's why I asked you this concept. Yeah, other hands with the if they say it now,
all right, we're facing some network issues right there. I'll try to reconnect with Mr. OSENI to help us explain some of these issues, because we're seeing VCs, buses. Hello.
I think that things should start to once and for all, and hopefully he does that quickly.
Mr. Rufai, what can we do about the federal government getting into agreement? Is there a way that it can be legally binding, right? When there's an MOU signed between the federal government and, any of the unions, we have them, we have to hold them, for lack of a better word, by the balls to say, this is what you promised us. This is the document that you signed. And if we take it to court, we're going to get that, the court is going to be in our favor because you said what you said and it's written in an MOU.
I think what should scare you, Gessie, is the fact that the federal government has no integrity to its own agreements. And it's been a consistent factor in Nigeria. No respect for integrity for its own agreements. It's been a consistent trend. I think that's what we should be scared about. And that's why when you look at approval ratings for government, people don't trust them. Government says something, people say it's a lie. They just know they are not implementing. Look at a story that was attributed to Daily Trust this morning, now that they are saying that the preliminary report has actually been said that she gets better education. They said, the case should go to prosecution, but some people are trying to stop that case within the state. So you just imagine that. And you want the people to trust the government, that's why the government is losing its integrity. And when the government is losing integrity, it's harder to govern. That's why people don't trust government. It's harder to govern.
All right, let's move on to Edo State, where we're seeing stakeholders jumping in with this rift between Obaseki and Shaibu, the feud between both of them. Mr. Rufai, what exactly can we even do about it? Because this is an individual who is going to be, out of office in a few months. So why exactly are we going after him right now?
I know him and Obaseki are loggerheads. Obaseki wants to prove a point. He wants to fight till the end. But Obaseki should remember that he's going to leave power soon. Power is transient. And if he feels betrayed by Shoaib, they should solve out their problem, not trying to now do the worst, but trying to pull him out of office. These things don't end well. Obaseki will just lose all his goodwill. His integrity will be at stake. Nobody had the right to run. He is wrong. He couldn't win. He's in court. If he's in court, let the court take his course. Then forget all of that. You see, this attempt to say, I want to show you I have more power than you, you have to be careful in life. Obaseki, people should advise him properly.
All right. Looking at this spate of kidnappings in the country, Ajuri Ngelale had said that the President Tinubu is working hard to secure all parts of the country, and he noted that the U.S. government has also promised to provide assistance for the release of the 287 Kaduna school children that were abducted. The statement is of concern to a lot of Nigerians. This statement about sub-regional forces that are conspiring against Nigeria's stability. Every time we see
with due respect, that's a smoke screen. I think you should mention those sub-regional forces. Let's hear. It's not by going to Chude where he will not be tackled. You should come to traditional media. You should come to us. Let's tackle him on this sub-regional. It's not by going to Chude where he will not be tackled and playing the interview as advertisement on many other media houses. No, you should come to real political media. So stop this talk of sub-regional forces.
This now still.
Is it the sub-regional forces too? That are not be able to prosecute people like better. These sub-regional forces too that are kidnapping people in Lagos and other parts of the country. These sub-regional, they should stop all of these things, all of this lie. They should try as much as possible to admit that they have failed and try to remedy the situation. I dare him to mention the sub-regional forces. You should mention names, call names. Stop deceiving Nigerians.
Okay, this now still leads to the first question that we're talking about the president saying he doesn't play blame games and all that, and if there is a synergy.
He plays blame games. Plays blame games. Couple of that. Didn't you blame NLC recently? NLC is not being fair to me. They are going on strike in the first 9 months. Didn't you blame NLC? Okay. And wasn't he revealed that he was the one that went to twist NLC with security forces so that they will not continue their strike on day 2? So he's not playing the blame game. Didn't you blame NLC? He plays blame games. I think it's for them to tell us their own side of the story tonight. I just want to tell us know the truth, the listeners. The truth part of the narrative. I just want to say this before. Yesterday, I had an agreement with the Minister of Interior. Some concerns were raised as regards the portal service for these passports. How people could infiltrate it. So the Minister says he's going to respond to that. I'll get you guys the authentic response by the Minister. I will put it out there. We just keep looking through. And please, if you have any problems with the portal, please bring it up so that the Minister will react to all of it. And I think that's the way to keep up now. Thank you.
Hello. All right, we'll try as much as we can to get the last of the conversation with Rufai this morning so that we can continue our conversation with Mr. Larry Oguego at this point in time. Looking at the situation in the country, we're seeing a lot that is happening. We're seeing a padding probe, 3.7 trillion naira padding probe by northern senators saying that they're disowning Ningi for the statements that he made. We're also seeing Tinubu to governors pay your wage award to your workers. He's telling the governors to pay the wage awards to their workers pending the conclusion of the conversation on the new minimum wage. We're also seeing stakeholders that are seeking an urgent resolution to the Obaseki and Shaibu feud. We're also seeing VCs, that's the vice chancellors, registrars and bossers who have not been paid 2022 arrears. This is according to the SANU president. He said his members have not been paid 2022 arrears. He said, to surprise you, even vice chancellors are involved in this because VCs too have not been paid, registrars have not been paid, and the bossers have not been paid as well. We're also seeing Adebanjo, that is the leader of the Pan-Yoruba socio-political organization Afenifere, Pa Ayo Adebanjo, yesterday throwing his weight behind calls for Nigeria's return to a parliamentary government. We'll talk about this in just a moment with Mr. Larry, looking at the fact that we have a presidential system of government, and he's talking about how expensive, it's too expensive and corrupt, that a parliamentary system of government is a better option. Well, we'll be checking out what the parliamentary system of government is and how, just to juxtapose with what we have at the moment that's talking about the presidential system of government. We'll go ahead and pay some bills, and when we come back, we'll be speaking with Larry in just a moment, okay? Do stay tuned and note that we are live on YouTube at Voice of the People Abuja. Voice of the People Abuja. Join us on YouTube, and you can join the conversation on WhatsApp. It's at 0700 010 961 961. 0700 010 961 961. You can call that number as well to be a part of the conversation. 0700 010 961 961. Let's pay some bills. I'll be back in a moment.
VOP 96.1 FM.
Are you aware that Iruka Online Limited installed and designed a 100,000 capacity church building? Oh yeah, we are the sole distributors of global leading brands all over the world, such as Wafday Line Array, speakers and digital amplifiers, Preseno's digital mixers and studio equipment, Coswell workstations and keyboards, Fender guitars, Mapex drums, Ashdown bass combos, just to mention but a few. We offer flexible payment plan handled by our financial department with 24/7 customer care support system. You can visit our website on www.iruka.com to avoid buying fake products. You can also visit our showroom at number 36 Lagos International Airport Road beside Golden Tulip Hotel. Iruka, never settle for less.
Today's sun is so hot though.
So what are you waiting for? Get the authentic taste of creamy cold berry ice cream. To order online from Gariki, call 090-8831-5907. Guarimpa 090-8831-5909. And Lugbe 090-8845-3416.
Enjoy authentic cold berry ice cream.
We have been serving you hot and fresh content on radio, and you have been loving it. Now we're taking it further. Catch us live on YouTube at VOP TV for all the juicy content you can't resist. Talk shows, exclusive interviews, news, lifestyle, and more. It's all about you. VOP TV, show up, speak up.
I'm coming in.
Now, you can enjoy the original taste of premium American Romeo's Pizza. Juicy, just the way you like it. To order online from Guarimpa, call 090-8831-5908. Gariki 090-8831-5906. And Lupe 090-9238-9861. Romeo's Pizza, the pizza champions.
Coming in hot, just like the fajita.
The Week in Review, a recap of all the big headlines and stories of the week. Saturdays at only on VOP 96.1 FM. Now you have a voice.
Family Live, a family-friendly program focusing on raising healthy families, dads, moms, and children. Listen to Family Live with the Family Man, Reverend Simon Asemota, Saturdays at 8 a.m. Exclusive to VOP 96.1 FM. Now you have a voice. Meet us on YouTube, Insta, and Twitter at Voice of the People 96.1 FM. Good morning and welcome back. This is still Voice of the People 96.1 FM. If you're just tuning in, well, you've missed a lot of the conversation, but we'll be joined by Mr. Larry in just a moment to help us check out some of the other remaining headlines that we've got this morning. How you doing? We checked out We've checked out this issue of padding, a probe. This is the 3.7 trillion naira padding probe by northern senators disowning Ningi as well. Good morning, Mr. Larry, and welcome.
Good morning. It's my pleasure to be here today.
All right. We're seeing the president telling governors to pay their wage awards to their workers. He said the payment of wage awards to workers will bring a big relief to a cross-section of Nigerians, and he's challenging the governors to go ahead and pay that particular amount of money. Is it not a no-brainer at this point? Aren't they supposed to pay that wage award to the workers?
They're supposed to. I don't really think Mr. President needs to push them or encourage them to pay. I think it's just a sign of the times. The governors have not really been known to be particular about workers' welfare in most states. They prefer to do what they call projects, visible projects, that people will applaud them and say, oh, they do this and that project. But they forget that the greatest project you can do is to actually build lives. And they also forget that we notice when they pay salaries and pay gratuities and all of that. So the governors don't seem to prioritize that. They pay the political appointees. I've never had a political appointee complain about being owed in Nigeria, whether they are appointed by presidents, governors, or local government chairmen. I've never, ever heard that they've been owed, unless they're out of favor or they're having issues with their principal. So why can't we extend the same to regular workers? They should not only pay them salaries. Yes, they should pay them the all of the bonuses and promises, considering that times are hard, considering that some of them have been owed in the past, and the value of the money they were being owed at that time is not the same thing now. Many civil servants have been owed months of salary before this economic earthquake, and they will still pay them the same amount. They won't consider that the money is about less than half the value now. So I think it's good Mr. President encourage them, but they should know they are closer to the people. They should feel the pulse of the people, and they should pay. They shouldn't say they don't have money. I'm just saying this clearly. They shouldn't tell us they don't have money. They have money. When you look at the kind of expenditure they run, when you look at the kind of vehicles they buy, even at the state level, when you look at the way they spend money, they waste money. Some of the governors still fly chartered private jets and all that, and they say they don't have money. What does it really cost the governor to just get into the business class cabin and travel? What is even wrong with flying economy? So you can meet people and get feedback on what they think about your leadership. It's just that our leaders, they don't really think about leading the people. Once they win the election, they prepare themselves, they put a fence between them and the people. Then once campaign time comes, they come down from their high horses and they mingle with us. After that, they disappear again. I think they should pay, and they should start paying like yesterday. They should start paying now.
All right. This is still coming in the wake of vice chancellors, registrars, and bursars having not been paid 2022 arrears. We're seeing the SANU president coming out to say that they will embark on a strike if the government fails to meet their demands before next Monday. That's March 18th. Mr. Larry, we've had this is a tale as old as time. Unions having a showdown with the federal government. What can we do about it?
I think we need to actually hold the government accountable for their inability to fulfill promises. And for me, it goes beyond labor. It's a matter of honor and integrity. The way I look at this thing is, if you don't have the resources to meet an agreement, don't agree. Find a way to persuade the person. At least let me do it. There's this payment they call small